let's start. Here we have a nice box and a nice knife. Let's open this baby up. This is the Unlimited Engineering and Loaded collaboration for an electric skateboard with a bunch of cool parts. So in the box, you have a box. Yay! As usual. This box is now protected by a little bubble wrap, which I'll have lots of fun popping later. So below the bubble wrap, you have the nice unlimited box. Once again, let's remove the excess material. And in there you have unlimited, which makes an electric skateboard with loaded and orangutan. So it's a bunch of nice companies with a nice board. Let's open this little box once again. So inside, first, of course, you have the nice little skateboard. So let's move this aside for now. We'll take a look at it later. And in the box, you have the start guide, you have a bunch of warnings, you have a bunch of stickers, and a quick start guide. And this little box, me first. Let's open this box like it says. In there, you have a bunch of little goodies. So the first one is, of course, a little remote with the large thumb joystick. You also have the charger and the cables, and the skate tool, basically. So let's look at the boards. We have electric skateboard, which means regular wheels in the front, hub motors in the back, and batteries on the underside. You have all this attached to a very nice loaded Tesseract board. And let's go over the details of what makes this board pretty cool. So this is the second time I'm recording this, so excuse the board, it's now dirty. I rode it a couple of times, so it's full of grime and dirt and everything. The first recording was borked because I had a bunch of echo and some weird noise. I think it's either my microphone or plug that wasn't there properly, but I had like awful sound. So this is a collaboration between Unlimited Engineering and the Loaded company. Loaded is a known brand of longboards, skateboards, and all different parts. So what makes this board special is that instead of being a cheap knockoff company from China that never made any skateboards, this is actual skateboarding parts from known brands and from a known supplier of full deck skateboards, with the added benefit of a motor on the back. So what do you have here? You have a loaded Tesseract, which is a great wooden longboard deck. Not too long, not too short. I think it's 33 inches long, about 99 centimeters long. So this is a nice W shape. So your feet are really grippy on this board. It has a good concave, so you can really see it from this angle. It also has a great grip tape, so very, very coarse grip tape. So I tried this with my feet wet and it was not a problem to be really solid on the board. Usually where companies fail is when they try to have good parts of skateboards in and around the wheels. Oftentimes they have special hub motors and they have to create their own truck, and sometimes creating your own trucks when you haven't been doing this for many decades can be problematic because it might break, it might distort, it might flex or whatever. But in this case, if I turn the board around, we have two nice set of trucks. The front, sometimes like on the X-Way, is a real known truck. It was, I think, a Caliber trucks. In this case, it's a Paris truck, so it's really like longboard parts. So you have the whole gear, the nuts and everything. It's known companies, known quality brand. That's great. And in the back, that's where usually a skateboarding company with electric boards cheap off, because their motors require a special kind of trucks. In this case, it's exactly the same truck as in the front. So it's a Paris truck, same model, same everything. The only difference is the way that Unlimited Engineering built their motors is that they can fit on regular trucks. So you don't need a special truck, you don't need a special shape. It all fits perfectly on this regular skateboarding truck. If you're wondering, this is the race model. So by race, what do they mean is that I have two hub motors. Each of them have their own dedicated battery and computer smarts. So these two things are normally they can be purchased independently, so you can have only single unit for boards, like for small cruiser boards that you don't need to really go fast, maybe just for going around the campus or something. One wheel could be enough. In my case, since I'm very heavy and I really like the speed, I asked them to provide me with a dual motors so that I can really push the board to the max limit. So if I take the specs, this is the race model, so it's $1349 US. that's just the motors and the wheels. So if you're on the board and everything, that's an extra amount of money, or you can install it on most of the boards you already have. The top speed is 26 miles per hour, so that's 42 kilometers per hour, and a range of 13 miles or 21 kilometers. The kit itself weighs only 4 kilograms, so it's not too heavy. That's about, what, 9 pounds? They have 3 kits, basically. This is the race, like I said, the most expensive one. The cruiser has 2 batteries again, but only 1 motor, so both batteries power the same motor. And finally, the solo is 1 motor and 1 battery. So now we covered the deck, the motors, the batteries, but what about the wheels? On the front side, you have great known orangutan wheels. So these are the Caguamas in orange, 85 millimeters and 88 gyrometer. So this is kind of like the, I would say, mid-size wheels. So 85 millimeters is not small, but on the electric skateboarding world, 85 is what you're trying to get if you upgrade your board to anything else. That's in the front. And in the back, the cool thing is that we don't have any cheap PU. Usually the boards have great wheels in the front, but cheap knockoff or whatever in the back. But in this case, the partnership went as far as that Loaded provided with Orangutan a set of PU that are made by Orangutan. So this material is the same as this one. So it's the same quality polyurethane. So that's going to be better for long-term usability and also for grippiness. So that's going to be one good thing to have. If you look closer to the motors, they are special in that you don't have a cap in front. You don't have to remove a bunch of screws and to be ordered to remove a special bolt or whatever. These things actually fit on the truck. So there's a hole in the front, so you can even see the nut, which you can remove with the provided skate tool. Mind you, it has to be a longer one because it's deeper than usual. You can simply pull that thing out, and I did just to make sure that I understood how this thing worked. And the whole motor and everything is inside that green part there. So it's pretty amazing the way that they engineered this. You really have real PU, real truck, and in between they fit a motor. So that's impressive. And it's not like they had to cheap out on the motor. These things can go fast. I'll describe more my experience in my full review, but just a couple times I tried the board already. This thing goes really, really fast. Great acceleration and great top speed. Not as fast as other boards, I'll mention that later, but it's quite impressive. These are removable, so you only have to remove this screw and you can clip out the battery. So if you really know you need to travel super long distance and you can afford it, you can buy spare batteries. And once you reach the end of one of the batteries or the 2 batteries, you can just, in a matter of minutes, unscrew it, remove the battery, put a new one and go for it. Not as simple as the inboard M1, which is just a clip mechanism, but still it's much easier than a boosted board or other boards that cannot even have a battery replaced. So that's a great idea here. On one side you have a USB port, so you can plug in your phone. Cool thing, it's a USB-C. It's not one of those huge USB-A ports. And on the other side you have you can probably see it here, you have the power port, so where you can plug in your charger basically. So in the box you have, of course, the remote. So this is a nice little remote with a different design that I'm not used to, with a big thumb joystick and a screen, so that's pretty useful. You have the skate tool and the battery charger. The battery charger is actually special because on this board you have 2 batteries and they are kind of independent, so you would in theory need to charge both separately, but they did something pretty smart, is that they linked both battery. So if you plug in the first one, it charges the battery, and at the same time it shares the current to the second battery, so that on one single cable, even though you have 2 battery units, charges both batteries. So it can take some time to charge. It's about 2 hours and a half, a bit more, but in the end you have a lot more capacity. So the cool thing with this little remote is not only does it have a quality lanyard. I know you might say, who cares about lanyards? Well, usually the lanyards are super cheap and they often break on me. So this one has a nice shape, a nice feel, and a nice little adjustment button. So it's a good addition to this. The remote has 2 buttons in the front, A and B button, which can be used to, if you hold them together, to power the remote. If you hold the B button, it closes the remote. And if you're in one of the lower settings in terms of modes, you can use one of them for an actual boost. Just like Mario Kart, when you get a mushroom, the same thing. You need first to be full throttle, so your throttle has to be to the max, and then when you hit that button, you get a short boost of speed for a little while. However, it doesn't work in the fastest mode, so you need to know that. The cruise control is interesting. I've never been quite a fan of cruise control, probably because most of my commute on the skateboard is in the streets, where there's cars, taxi, cyclists, and a bunch of people jaywalking everywhere. I prefer to be in control. I prefer to control my speed myself and be always ready to brake. So the skate tool is just a regular skate tool like you have with the boosted boards. It's the one that you can remove parts. It's in the garage right now, but you can remove the stem and you can put it inside out and have this little Allen key next to it with magnets. So it's pretty compact. It fits in a bag easily, even if you're in your pockets if you need to. The screen itself can be used to, of course, show your battery capacity, the remote battery, and the mode you're in, as well as the speed. So this is calculated based on the circumference of the wheels, and the speed can reach 26 miles per hour, 42 kilometers per hour. That's on ideal condition, and probably if you're lighter than me. So the modes are Easy, Eco, Pro, and User. The easy one is limited in speed and torque and everything, and there's a small delay before the board actually gives you the jolt when you push full steam ahead. Eco is a bit faster, but still not the full power, so you can have better range. So the Eco mode has 15 kilometers per hour limited speed, and then the Eco mode has 25 kilometers per hour, and the Pro mode has 37 kilometers per hour. If you really want to get the full power of the thing, you really need to go into the user mode where you can customize punch, brake punch, power, and speed limiter. There are two more settings that you can change. The first one is a ninja mode. No, the board doesn't become black all of a sudden. It's just that the battery lights you have on the underside, that usually lights up once in a while while you're riding with your battery capacity from green to red, they can basically be turned off. And the other setting you can change is the throttle response. So that little thing here, if it is snappy, so super responsive, or if there's a smoother response. So there's some delay when you have smooth, but it might be easier not to be thrown off the board. All right, so that's it for the unboxing of the Unlimited and Loaded Race skateboard. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thumbs up if you liked it, sub if you really loved it, and you'll be able to be notified if you ring the little bell with the final review of this skateboard and other products to come. I even have a Sennheiser headset coming up soon, so keep watching the channel for new updates, and that's it. Peace.